So I'm out and about and just kind of musing here, and I came to the conclusion that we are who we are. And, you know, we're here for experiences. I was out earlier this morning at a Starbucks, and I saw this guy sitting on the ground, and he's an older guy, and he's got on these like torn up pair of shoes. And it came to me that I'm telling you that everybody's here for a certain type of experience. This guy is out here literally every single week, you know, with his dog, and I can see from looking at him like this is where this guy wants to be. And the reason why this is important is because everybody needs to take a look in the mirror and look at themselves in that same, you know, aspect. So if you're in a certain situation, you've got to be able to, you know, look at yourself and say, I'm in this situation because, you know, my thoughts, my mind, whatever the case may be, got me in this situation. Just as that guy is physically going to that Starbucks with that dog, with that sign, you know, asking for food and money every day, you know, of the week. That's a physical choice to get up and physically do that. So that's a choice that guy is making. He could do anything, you know, in the world, but he's choosing to go there to you know, this particular Starbucks. That's another thing. You go to any Starbucks, going to one particular Starbucks. So it's a physical choice, and we need to, as individuals in this world, look at ourselves like that and come to the conclusion that wherever we are, we're physically, you know, putting ourselves there. You know, it's a choice that we're making. So if you're in a situation that you're not happy, whether it be, you know, in a relationship or financially, you have to come to the conclusion that you're the reason why you're there, just as you would come to the conclusion that if you were not there, I mean, you can take yourself to another situation that's going to be better for you. You just have to elevate your mind and get yourself in that better position. And so with that said, I think that what reading does for me, and I'm segueing here to reading, how I think I was reading this book earlier this morning by James Rickards called The Road to Ruin. A friend of mine recommended this book to me, and it kind of really jumps right into what's going on in the world. And what he's saying in this book is that the next financial crisis, there's really nothing that can be done to prevent it, because everything's already been done up until this point, and we're at a point now where the methods that have worked before are not going to work, you know, for this future catastrophe that's coming. It's imminent. It's not a, you know, when it's going to happen, you know, or if it's going to happen. It's when it's going to happen. It's an imminent, and they know this. And this book goes into really graphic detail. You know, it gives you a very quick history of some of the methods that were used in the past, why they worked then, and why they're not going to work in the future. And he gets like right into it, like within the first couple of chapters. He really paints a very clear picture, you know, to what's going on. He goes into like these, he talks about the FEMA camps. Now, usually when you hear about these FEMA camps, it's like tied to some like conspiracy theory. When Jim Rickards in this book, The Road to Ruin, talks about FEMA camps, it's really because of a financial crisis that's coming, and when people, you know, get out of control about the money situation, and what's going to happen is there's literally, as he says, there's going to be blood on the streets, and we can see that that's probably really about how it's going to go down here. So I recommend that book to anyone and everyone. And then, again, it goes back to the experience. So you look at, I'm here in LA, and there's a lot of people, and I understand because it's a warm climate, it rarely rains and all that. So there's there's an innate reason there as to why there's a large homeless population. But in addition to that, we look at, I think a lot of people that you see out here in the streets are very capable of, you know, getting a job and being in this quote-unquote system of things where you get a job and you work and you pay these, you know, exorbitant housing costs, whatever, rental costs. And I think a lot of people have looked at that, especially people who might have got caught up in the 2008 financial crisis. They lost their home. It's like, why rebuild and go back into that with the threat of having to lose your home all over again? So a lot of people are either one of two things. They're either, number one, protecting themselves, better as far as their assets are concerned, a little bit more with asset allocation, that type of thing, way to protect their assets, buying gold, so forth and so on. Another thing they're doing is probably, giving up on the system altogether. And I think that's adding to this, what I'm seeing as far as what's going on in the world. Because, again, a lot of people out on the streets, I think, if they wanted to, could go out and get a job or even, create something on their own. But I think they've just given up on this, quote-unquote system of things where they've concluded that it's not even worth it. You might as well, if the government is going to, give you this, that, and the other, you might as well take advantage of it. Live on the street in one of these tents, and, at that point, you're living rent-free and you're off the system. And this all ties in, so what I see what Jim Rickards is talking about. Everybody's going to have their own perspective as to where they are. But I think that ties in a lot, because if the economy is about to crash, and there's a potential for your assets to be confiscated under certain laws. I mean, you might as well get prepared for the future. So innately, I think they're getting prepared for a future that's to come in some ways, because they're going to be more adept to living that type of lifestyle where they're kind of living off the land, if you will. So they're going to be more adept to that than people who are going to go through this differently. Like if you have a house, you lose your house again, you're going to be in a panic situation. You're going to be out in the streets fighting. In the book it mentions like blood will be spread, this, that, and the other. But if you're already adapt to that type of living, you're not going to be that much affected by it. So it's just almost like when animals, see a threat coming, they start running. They're the first ones out, because they can sense it innately that some type of threat is coming. So a lot of these people out on the streets, I see them kind of like that. Like they know that the threat is coming, is imminent. So they're like kind of already preparing, for that situation to occur. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Feel free to comment. I'd like to hear somebody else's take on it all, but that's kind of, I know I've kind of went from one thing to the next, but it really all ties in. But anyway, give your thoughts on what you think. Please read that book, Jim Rickards, The Road to Ruin. And again, give me your thoughts. I'd like to hear your take on things from your perspective. Everybody's on different levels, so they're going to have a different perspective. And another thing is, you don't need to bash anybody or bash me. This is just my views and how I'm seeing things. Somebody else on a different level might see things differently. Rickards is on a different level, so he sees things differently. So, we collectively put our thoughts together, and, maybe we can come up with some solutions instead of bashing, I think this and this is right or wrong, and somebody's, just going after somebody. They need to just, don't be part of the problem, be part of the solution, and give some very honest thoughts on the topic. Anyway, that's it for now. Talk to you later. Peace.